They never look you in the eye, not at first. But I always did, because someone had to. Someone had to carry the weight of what was about to happen, not just the condemned, but the man who made it final.
My name is Albert Pierrepoint. For over 20 years, I served as England's official hangman, the last of my kind. They say I executed more than 400 people. I know the number. I just don't say it anymore. It feels like a score, and there's no glory in it.
I didn't grow up wanting to kill men. I wanted to be precise. I wanted to be respectful. I was 11 when I first told someone what I wanted to be. When I grow up, I want to be an executioner. They laughed. I didn't.
My father was a hangman too, Albert Pierrepoint. But he drank too much, got dismissed in disgrace. My uncle did the same job. It was in the blood, they said. But I didn't want their shame. I wanted to restore the name.
I thought if I did it cleanly, professionally, I could give the condemned something close to dignity. I was wrong about a lot of things. There's no school for what I did. They trained me in secret. I learned the math of death, the drop table, weight, neck circumference, the perfect length of rope to snap the spinal cord cleanly. Too short and they strangle. Too long and you tear the head clean off. That happened once. Not to me, but I read the report.
I swore it never happened under my hand. I practised every step, from the moment I entered the cell to the moment the lever dropped. 7 seconds. 7 seconds to do a man's final duty.
I remember me first, Antonio Mancini. I was assistant then, held his arms. He was calm, too calm. The silence was worse than screaming. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. But you learn to harden yourself. If you don't, the job eats you alive.
When I became the chief executioner, it became routine. Men, women, old, young, all equal when the hood went on. James English were the fastest. 7 seconds from cell to noose. That's a record. He didn't resist. He didn't speak. He just walked. I remember thinking, this is how it's supposed to be. But what a terrible thing to be good at.
During the war, they called on me to execute Nazi criminals at Hamelin, men responsible for unspeakable cruelty. When they stood before me, they were no longer monsters. They were just scared men, begging in German. You see, evil doesn't have horns. It has eyes, and a mouth, and a neck just like everyone else.
I hanged John Amory, Churchill's godson, who joined the Nazis. He thanked me. "Mr. Pierrepoint," he said, "I've always wanted to meet you, but not, of course, under these circumstances." And then he died. Calmly,
with a grace I never expected. But it wasn't always like that. Ruth Ellis, the last woman to be executed in Britain. She shot her lover in a jealous rage. The newspapers called her a monster. But when I saw her, she looked like a ghost, a small woman, frail, barely standing. Her voice trembled when she said, "Thank you." Why do they thank me? I'm the last face they see, the last voice they hear. I'm not God. I just pulled the lever. There was something about Alice that stayed with me. Not just because she were the last woman, but because she shouldn't have died. I started to see it more and more. The cracks, the doubt. Timothy Evans. I hanged him in 1950 for killing his wife and baby girl. He confessed, open and shut. 3 years later, they found the real killer, John Christie. Evans was innocent. I killed an innocent man. The state got it wrong, but I was the one who made it permanent. They never asked me how that felt. I wouldn't have had the words. I kept a ledger. Names, dates, weights, nothing else. You can't write down the look in their eyes. You can't measure the silence that follows. Some went kicking, others sobbing. Some, like Amory, went bravely.
But bravery doesn't change the end. The rope doesn't care. I began to wonder if I was part of justice or just part of a machine. I told myself I brought mercy through efficiency. But that's the lie we all tell when the job demands something monstrous.
I retired quietly. No announcement. Just stopped answering the call. I ran a pub with my wife. People drank, laughed. Some knew who I was. Most didn't. They abolished capital punishment in 1965. People thought I'd be angry, but I wasn't. I was relieved. I wrote a book later. Said it plainly. The death penalty is not a deterrent. It is only revenge. They didn't like that. The papers twisted it. But I didn't care. I'd seen enough death to know it solves nothing. The state called me a servant of justice, but no one came to shake me hand when it was over. No one said, "Thank you for your service." Only the condemned ever thanked me. And that, well, that haunts me more than anything. They say I was the last executioner in England, the last man to kill in the name of the crown. But I wasn't the one with the power. I just made it real. There are nights I still see them, not in dreams, but in the quiet. A hand gripping the bars, a soft prayer, the final step forward.
We always measured the rope twice, but no one ever measured the weight we carried. They never look you in the eye, not at first, but I always did, because someone had to remember them, and I do, every last one.